Transitioning to the latter half of the B-ranked teams, we examine the Kansas City Royals, Toronto Blue Jays, and Tampa Bay Rays. These teams present intriguing dynamics with the potential for surprise, but they also face significant hurdles in their quest for playoff contention. Kansas City Royals. Team analysis: the Royals were the biggest surprise team of 2024, making a dramatic turnaround from a 106-loss season in 2023 to reaching the ALDS in 2024. The offense is centered around Bobby Witt Jr., SS, who fully realized his potential with a 30-homer, 50-steal season, becoming the team's driving force. Vinny Pasquantino, 1B, returned from injury to add power, and MJ Melendez, C, also provided some pop, helping deepen the lineup. However, the team still struggles with on-base percentage, particularly in the outfield, which remains a weak spot. To sustain success, outfield production must improve. Players like Drew Waters and Kyle Isbell need to step up. The starting rotation, long a weak point, saw a breakthrough with Cole Ragans, LHP, who posted an ERA under 3.00 after joining the team mid-season. Brady Singer remains inconsistent but is still a key rotation piece. The rest of the rotation is made up of young, unproven arms, making growth and development crucial. The bullpen lacks experience, having traded closer Scott Barlow, but replacements like Carlos Hernandez and Amir Garrett, left-handed pitcher, performed well. Defensively, the infield is solid, led by Witt Jr.'s improved shortstop play. The outfield defense is strong, thanks to speedy players like Isbell, who cover a lot of ground. Key players: Bobby Witt Jr., SS, a true five-tool superstar and the franchise cornerstone. Salvador Perez, C, the veteran leader who provides stability for both the lineup and pitching staff. Cole Ragans, SP, a potential breakout ace if his post-trade dominance in 2024 was no fluke. Breakout candidates: Michael Garcia, 3B, a defensive specialist with developing offensive skills. Prospect to watch: Frank McAfee, OF, a young player with power potential. Playoff outlook: slightly below 50-50. While their miracle turnaround in 2024 was impressive, some analysts doubt their ability to sustain it. However, this is a young team with significant upside. Their weak outfield production remains a concern, and without improvement in offensive depth, they could struggle to maintain momentum. With the AL Central becoming more competitive, the Royals will need to recapture last year's magic to remain in playoff contention. They have a shot at a wild card, but their place in the race remains uncertain. Seattle Mariners. Analysis: the Mariners boast one of the strongest pitching staffs in MLB, but fell just one game short of the playoffs due to offensive struggles. The rotation is elite, featuring Luis Castillo, Logan Gilbert, and George Kirby as the top three starters, with young talents Brian Wu and Emerson Hancock providing depth. The Mariners finished 2024 with one of the league's best ERAs, but a crushing loss to the Royals in June, where they blew an 8-run lead, ultimately cost them a playoff spot. This was a reflection of a broader problem: a lack of run support for their elite pitching staff. The offense is built around Julio Rodriguez, CF, who had a 30-homer, 30-steal season and established himself as a superstar. However, no other hitter provided consistent production, leading to an overall lack of scoring. In the offseason, they traded away Teoscar Hernandez, RF, and Ty France, first base, and will look to fill the gaps with young players like Cade Marlowe and new acquisitions. The second base position remains unsettled, making infield offensive upgrades a priority. The bullpen remained one of the best in MLB, even after trading closer Paul Sewald midseason. Andres Munoz stepped up as the new closer, and the relief corps maintained one of the lowest bullpen ERAs in the league. Defense is a strength with strong fielders in both the infield and outfield. Key players: Julio Rodriguez, CF, a five-tool superstar and the face of the franchise. Luis Castillo, SP, the ace of the pitching staff. George Kirby, SP, a young ace-caliber starter with elite control. Breakout candidates: Jard Kelenic, OM. Once a top prospect, he has struggled to reach his potential, but 2025 could be his year. Prospects to watch: Harry Ford center and Gabriel Gonzalez outfielder, both promising young talents. Playoff outlook: 50-50 chance. In 2024, the Mariners came painfully close to the postseason, missing out due to one crucial loss. This highlights how every single game matters in a tight AL playoff race. The AL West and wildcard races will be highly competitive again in 2025. However, with one of the best pitching staffs in baseball, the Mariners are only an average offense away from becoming a playoff team. To succeed, they must avoid a slow start and aim for a consistent, full-season performance, rather than relying on a late-season push like last year. Toronto Blue Jays. Analysis: the Blue Jays enter a win-now season, and the front office has shown its commitment by making bold off-season moves. The offense struggled in 2024, with Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 1B, and Bo Bichette, SS, underperforming, leading to a sharp drop in run production. In response, they added Anthony Santander, OF, to improve their power hitting and acquired Andres Gimenez, 2B, via trade to strengthen the infield. As a result, they now have a power-packed lineup from top to bottom. The rotation is one of the strongest in the league, with Kevin Gausman, ace, Jose Barrios, and Chris Bassett forming a solid core. Additionally, they signed veteran Max Scherzer to a one-year deal, and top pitching prospect Ricky Tiedemann is expected to debut mid-season, further bolstering their depth. The bullpen is stable, led by closer Jordan Romano with no major weaknesses. However, Matt Chapman, 3B, left in free agency, creating a defensive gap at third base. Ernie Clement is the projected replacement, but third base remains a concern. Overall, the team has improved its offense and maintained a strong pitching staff, making them a serious contender. Key players: Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 1B, power-hitting cornerstone of the lineup; Bo Bichette, SS, contact hitting machine; Kevin Gausman, SP, the team's ace; Max Scherzer, SP, a future Hall of Famer who brings leadership and playoff experience. Breakout candidates: Dalton Varsho, OF, struggled in 2024, but if fully recovered from a shoulder injury, could return to 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases form. Ricky Tiedemann, SP, a top prospect who could become a key contributor in the second half of the season. Playoff outlook: better than 50-50. The Blue Jays must get off to a strong start, as they recognize that 2025 is a make-or-break season. The AL East is incredibly competitive, but with their improved offense and already strong pitching, they have a legitimate shot at a division title. At minimum, they should contend for a wild card spot. Tampa Bay Rays. Team analysis: the small market, analytics-driven Rays are at a turning point. At the 2024 trade deadline, they shifted to a sell mode, trading key players to focus on rebuilding for 2025. Their struggles were compounded by the absence of shortstop Wander Franco, who was sidelined due to off-field issues. His availability remains uncertain. The offense now revolves around Randy Arozarena, OF, the lone established star, while the rest of the lineup features new acquisitions and young talent. A key player to watch is Junior Caminero, a promising second-year slugger with potential to carry the lineup. The starting rotation faces challenges, as ace lefty Shane McClanahan is still recovering from Tommy John surgery, expected return mid-2025. In his absence, the team will lean on Zach Eflin, Taj Bradley, and Tyler Glasnow, who surprisingly was not traded in 2024. While they lack the depth of past seasons, Bradley and top prospect Mason Montgomery bring future upside. The bullpen remains a strength, with Pete Fairbanks and Jason Adam anchoring the relief corps. Defense and base running remain hallmarks of the Rays' identity, allowing them to win tight games despite their offensive struggles. One major storyline: the team will temporarily relocate from Tropicana Field due to stadium issues and will play home games at Steinbrenner Field, Yankees' spring training facility in New York. This unfamiliar home setting could affect team performance. Key players: Randy Arozarena, OF, the team's offensive leader and a clutch performer; Isaac Paredes, 3B/1B, a power-hitting infielder expected to contribute heavily; Junior Caminero, 3B, a breakout candidate with Rookie of the Year potential if he delivers his full offensive upside; Taj Bradley, SP, a young potential ace aiming for a big step forward in 2025. Playoff outlook: slightly below 50-50. After trading away key players in 2024, 2025 is shaping up to be a retooling year. The AL East remains one of the toughest divisions, making it difficult for the Rays to keep pace. Their biggest obstacles: adjusting to a temporary home stadium, a lineup missing a true power threat. However, the Rays' creativity and development system always make them dangerous. If their young players outperform expectations, they could re-enter the wildcard race.